First, the huge resolve of very young activists in making their country not derailing its path toward EU enlargement. A lot of those activists chose to engage outside the traditional political formations as they show significant amount of skepticism and distrust about their capacity to bring about fundamental change into the hybrid political system of Georgia. As we speak, the election has changed, has reversed its course, and has called for several protests in the street of Tbilisi almost daily in order to claim a new organization of the elections under international supervision. Yet, the young activists we met shared their concern that because of the highly polarized discourses and the geopolitical focus that was made prevalent during the electoral campaign, the EU won't be able to back the opposition, won't be able or even won't be capable of backing the opposition in its demand. As such, they show also a lot of critics toward the EU. They want Georgia on the European path, but they want also the EU to acknowledge Georgian agency in the process and not conceive it as a country stuck between geopolitical and strategic rivalries between the EU and Russia, between the West and the East. And a third point is, and I would really like to stress that out because it aligns nicely with the conclusion of our last background paper, is that the political engagement of those young activists is really thought and implemented outside of the traditional political arena. And the way they organize themselves, the way they commit to social solidarity, to an activist cohesion is really, really striking. And it shows that this is where the EU needs to focalize its actions. And that's along this line that it needs to revise its democracy promotion toolkit in order to support a civic activism that is not part of an organized civil society constrained by the governments or constrained by the challenges of international funding.